Hey guys, so I have a new pattern coming out. It is my Senya sweater, which I'm wearing right now. It's got this really fun color work and yeah, I really like it. It's my first stranded color work sweater pattern. So it was definitely a challenge for me, but I love the way that it came out and it was really fun to learn 3-color color work. But if you don't want to do that, there is the option to knit it with 2 colors. So there's instructions both written and charted for 3-color and for 2-color. So you'll need DK weight, and the red that I'm using is my main color, and then 2 other colors. So I have the tan and then the gold. I used Explorer Knits and Fibers in her Rockies DK, which is a 100% superwash merino with 274 yards per 100 grams. And the colors I used are Cabernet is the red, Ochre is the kind of mustard color, and Rolled Oats is kind of the tan. I used a US 6, which is a 4mm needle, and you need that in a 16-inch, a 24-inch, and whatever your preferred sleeve needles are. So that could be a 32-inch for your like magic loop. It could be 12-inch circular needles, which are my preferred method, or it could be DPNs. So it's up to your preferred method. And the size also depends on what you meet gauge with. So I met gauge with a US 6, which is a 4mm, but you'll have to do your own gauge swatch to decide what works for you. I did not use a smaller needle for the ribbing, so you can tell that the neck is fairly wide, and on some of my testers it's a little bit wider. So if you like your neck to be a little bit more fitted, then you'll want to use a smaller needle. So it's typically a size, 1 size smaller or 2 sizes smaller than what you meet gauge with. So yeah, that is my kind of suggestion to you. I didn't use it for the hem of the sweater, and I didn't use it for the ribbing on the cuffs. And my cuffs they're not loose, but they're not super fitted. So if you like really fitted necklines and very fitted cuffs, then you'll want to go down a couple needle sizes from your gauge needle when you're working the ribbing. And then when it comes to the yoke, I know that a lot of people don't like really long yokes. I do, because it feels like I'm wearing a very big oversized sweatshirt, which are my favorite. But if you don't, you can kind of see that mine is pretty long. So if you don't want that, you can easily adjust this. In the pattern, it'll say to work a certain amount of rows before working the next increase round. Just shorten that amount. I believe it's like 6 or 7 rows in between the increases. Just shorten it to maybe 3. You could go lower than that if you want. And then that will give you a shorter amount of distance before starting the color work, but you should have the correct number of stitches because you will be working all of the same increase rounds. So that will bring the color work higher up on your neckline and will also make your yoke a little bit shorter. So that's a way that you can customize it. You can also make the sleeves a little bit more fitted, so you can decrease faster if you want, but you want to be able to have the right number of stitches for the cuff color work. And then of course the length of the sweater is very customizable. You could make it more cropped if you want, you could make it longer, you could give it a split hem, get creative with it, you could add body shaping, waist shaping, anything like that. The pattern doesn't have any shaping in the body, so just go straight down until you hit the ribbing. But I mean, you know your body and you know what looks better on you and what you like to wear. So you can go ahead and throw in any kind of alteration that works better for you. So there is a schematic in the pattern. So I know some people have longer arms or shorter arms than is kind of the average. So just take a look at the schematic. You can measure yourself. Maybe you want shorter sleeves or longer than what the pattern says. You can just go ahead and knit longer than what the pattern tells you. I think that's all the main information. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You need to meet a gauge of 22 stitches and 29 rounds per 4 inches or 10 centimeters. And that is a blocked stockinette swatch in the round. So other than that, there's some German short rows, which are very simple. Trust me, you can do it. and there are some catching the floats, which I know can be intimidating, but if you've never done it and you're very intimidated by it, I would try the 2-color version and watch some tutorials. So I'm not a pro. I mean, you could tell that my yoke is a little bit tighter than it should be, and it still fits very well and it's very comfortable. I think you can do it, you can try it, you could work on a swatch and try it that way. There's also a couple of links in the pattern for something called color dominance. So color dominance is just something that shows you how to make one color stand out or pop more than another. So it's a way that you twist your skeins or hold your floats, I guess, is more of a better way to explain it. It's pretty simple. It's just that you have to use one above another if you want it to be dominant. I believe that's how it goes. You should watch the video before starting the sweater if you're interested. But there are charts, there's a fully drawn out schematic, there's charts for the yoke and the sleeves in both 3-color and 2-color. All in all, it's just a pretty fun and simple pattern. Other than the color work in the yoke and the sleeves, it's all stockinette and then a little bit of ribbing for the cuffs. But very simple, very fast in DK weight yarn, and I've heard some great things from my testers, so I hope that you guys will enjoy the pattern as well. I will leave a discount code in the description of this video that will be good for probably a week, maybe a week and a half from when this video goes live, so that it gives you a chance to hopefully snag it at that discounted rate. Thank you guys so much for supporting my designs. It means the world and it allows me to keep designing more, so thank you.